Hi my loves, how's it going? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. It's time for a update for the 50 Shades of Black project plan. All the details for this will be down below. It is a fantastic ladies collab. I love trying out this project each year, and each year I fail miserably and I give up all my project plans within like the first 2-3 months. But this year I'm going to try and hold on to this as long as I can because I do feel like a lot of this time around, for the first time, I don't actually have that many makeup products in this product pan, which is kind of nice because it gives me the time and the focus to use up the other products like my hair care, skincare, body care, stuff like that before I use up my actual like makeup stuff. That being said, I do still have like a handful of makeup things that I would like to use up or have like a goal on to hit. But that being like, even with that, it's not such an overwhelming project pan. I do have a lot of things I have yet to even touch, but I'm just going to take it as it comes, one thing at a time, and then kind of just try to make progress through that way. I'm only going to be showing the products that I've actually used since the intro, so that you guys can actually see what I have used and what I've like if I've used up anything and just stuff like this rather than showing all 50 products because I feel like that would just be like a little bit too much to do and like too much of a hassle considering that video will then be like so long. But yeah, I'm just gonna get right into the video. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Please also make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. But let's roll right into the video. I am so excited to share that I have actually got two empties already for this project pan. I'm quite shocked, but I'm also really happy that I have two so far already. One of these was the hair care product, and this is the Olaplex number 3 hair perfector, which basically repairs and strengthens all hair types. Now, because of how long my hair is, I can easily use up this thing, and I'm not gonna lie, I did use it all up in one go, and I left it on my hair for a good couple of hours, and it was the best thing ever. Literally, all I had to do was pick this out of my hair care inventory sometime last year, even the year before, and just dump it in my hair. And I could have at the time used this maybe like 2 or 3 times, but I feel like because of how long my hair is now and because of how damaged it is, like it really needed the entire bottle. And I'm still glad I used the whole thing up. I always like make sure to wet my hair, then towel dry, and then literally just add this into the ends of my hair and I leave it in for several hours and then go ahead and do what I need to do. And the second I start to feel like there's parts that are drying up, but that's when I'll go into the shower and go wash it off. And it's really good, like if I want to multitask, like I get to do a hair mask and then clean or cook or whatever else it is that I need to do. I haven't actually bought any Olaplex products in a very long time, because they are very expensive and I'm now in the point where I want to like stop like bleaching my hair, and that will obviously mean that I don't have that level of damage to my hair, so I won't actually need products like this. At least I don't think I will need products like this. So for that reason, I just haven't really shopped around Olaplex. But yeah, I'm just happy to say that this product is finally done. The next product is actually Makeup Empty, which I'm so excited to share. This is the Made by Mitchell liquid blush in the shade Chance of Peach. These were like the highlighted versions that he released. I'm not gonna lie, I think these are really, really fun. I just don't feel like liquid sort of highlighters ever work on my skin. And I have tried to use these several times before on top of foundations. It just doesn't work. And that's because I have to use a lot of powder, especially on my under eyes, to make sure that they don't get so creasy and they last a decent time. This product I was trying to use up on top of my foundation, kind of got frustrated, and then I remembered that I can actually multi-use products, like that is a thing, and I had to toss away my elf halo glow things because they expired, and I feel like elf is really bad with this. They have a very short shelf life. They can sometimes expire before, like the packaging has like a set date, and usually they'll go from like 6 to 12 months. But I feel like a lot of the times I've used elf products, they've expired before the date's actually gone, which is very frustrating. Even if you don't open the product and you start to use it like a month or so later, same thing happens. So I don't really recommend it for that reason. But anyway, that had to get tossed. But I really liked the like the glowy sort of look. So instead, I just decided to use this. And you know what? I'm so glad I did because at least that way I have it empty. This was the only way for this to actually get used up in this project plan. So I'm glad that I figured it out and started to use it like this when I did. And I had been using it in this way since like the start of the year, which means that this product was basically brand new when I started to do this. And I've now finished this up. Every time I did my makeup, this was on my cheeks before I did foundation. And I'm not gonna lie, under some foundations, especially those that have like uh little to like medium coverage, this just sits so beautifully underneath, and it just looks so nice. Like, I really love that look, and I'm glad I used this up. From the intro, I was literally about there, and since then I've used up the entire thing. It did also start to stink as well, so that told me that this is actually like a product that has expired. So yeah, I'm just so glad that this was done when it was done. While I'm here, I might as well get the makeup and like put stuff done. And I think I used almost all of the makeup, if not all of it, in this project. So the two lip products that I have are these from Huda Beauty. And there's the liquid matte in the shade Muse and the lip strobe in the shade Angelic. I literally use these both today. So like I've got one use on each of these because I used it today. I'm gonna count it towards this update because I'm filming it today, so it kind of works out, if you know what I mean. And I got these gifted to me as a set from someone on my birthday a couple of years ago, and I literally haven't used it since. I don't know why, because both of these shades are quite literally beautiful. So yeah, I'm really happy that I did actually use it today. I do quite like the formula for the Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks, but I have so many liquid lipsticks at this point, I literally don't need anything else. The goal is literally 10 uses, and I think that is fairly doable because it doesn't add too much pressure on me. And I think by the time this project ends, I will definitely have hit 10 uses, if not probably more if I decide to leave it into the project pan on each of these items. I chose 10 because I felt like that was like the easiest number. 5 just felt like that would be cheating, and anything over 10 just felt extremely overwhelming. So I thought, do you know what? Let me not do that to myself. Let me only pick 2 products, 10 uses. That way, at least I can have something to use, but then I can also focus on all the other products I actually want used up and gone. So it kind of just worked out really well because of that. Another product which I only had 10 used goal on was this blush. It is the shade Into the Pink, which is the extra dimension blush highlighters from MAC. I got this secondhand from someone. It just didn't work on her skin. Well, she was quite like a pale, very fair skinned person. So she just said it just was too much for her skin and she didn't like it. It didn't work as a highlighter. Like, it obviously wasn't going to work as a highlighter. She tried it as a blush, but she felt like it was too much for her. So I kind of just bought it off of her because it was like pretty brand new when she had it in her collection. And I'm not gonna lie, I have used it a decent amount, and it's a really beautiful highlighted type of blush. When I use this product, I never use blush on top of it because it's already so much as it is. I am wearing it today, so that counts towards one use towards my 10, which I'm happy with. I do really like this blush. Whenever I have used it, I do tend to use it several times back to back until I like force myself to put it away. I am trying to just be mindful of the fact that I have so many other products that I really want to focus in on, and the fact that I've got a Pan That Face palette, which I'm really determined to have completed before the end of the year. I know I can do it before then, but like, still, like, I want it done, and in order for me to completely have that one finished, I need to kind of like slowly use these items up. So the main focus is on those products, but this is a beautiful shade. I do kind of want to try some of the others in this particular line if they haven't discontinued it, because MAC is also notorious for discontinuing a lot of stuff. But yeah, this is beautiful. I really like it. Kind of wish I had a few more of these, especially because these are so tightly priced. So you are definitely going to get your money's worth out of the product. And if you're looking for something shimmery like this, but like not too shimmery, but still like works as a blush, I really think this is a nice thing because I know that the Rare Beauty ones are very popular and they've just come out, but that literally looks like a blush topper, not an actual blush. I think that was trying to do what this is, but it just didn't hit the mark. And I would say if you're looking for something like that, but you want something that has a little bit more like base to it, this would be the product for you instead. Another lip product is this Artitude Cosmetics lip roll. This is the shade Wicked Watermelon. When I rolled this in, this is basically brand new, and since then I've got progress line here. So I have made some use out of this. I've had to take the stopper out because the I forgot what it's called, but the wand didn't go all the way to the bottom. So like the product wasn't coming out enough. So I took the stopper out, and that's how I've kind of just been using these up. I really like this. It's a really nice lip oil. I really recommend this particular formula. I won't be repurchasing this one anytime soon because I have so many lip glosses and other lip oils I can actually use up before I even think about doing that. But if I was to only ever buy one lip oil for the rest of my life, I would probably go for the Altitude Cosmetics one. I have yet to try one that I have preferred a lot more than this one, but it is a nice one. I love the scent. She has repackaged it since I've had this. I think I got this back in 2020. I want to say two. So I feel like last year is when she repackaged stuff. But yeah, I really like this. Oh, 2022 or 23, I don't know, it's 1 or 2 years. But yeah, I really like this. And I know that if I, again, this is one of those products that if I focus in on it, I will have it used up before the end, like very quickly, like within like a week or two. Because I use a lot of lip oil, my lips get really, really dry. I don't really drink enough water either, so that obviously doesn't help. But yeah, because of that reason, I do feel like I can fly through these products, and this is literally the last one left now. I bought a pack of 6, and this is not the last one left. I used one up, I think, a couple months ago, but yeah, I do love this. If you're looking for a good lip oil formula, I would highly recommend this one. Lastly, for the makeup stuff is this foundation. I have no idea where the hell this is. I can just tell you that every time this is getting lighter whenever I hold it. It's really difficult to see where I am, but I know I've used so much of this product since I've had it, especially last year and like this year. I've really used this a lot. So I know I'm close to being done with this at some point. This is also really old now. It's starting to smell a little bit as well. That's I feel like the biggest problem I've had with a lot of my products. I've ended up buying so much stuff that a lot of it is just expiring now. So I'm trying really hard not to buy too much and I just using up what I have. I'm trying to use this alongside another foundation. So there's two different ones I'm using, and both of them are on the verge of like literally expiring, if not they have already expired. I love this formula, but I don't think this works for me, especially during the summertime. I have very oily skin, and during the summer I get very oily because I'm also sweaty as well. But when I sweat, my face doesn't necessarily sweat, but my oils, I get very oily even when I'm not wearing sunscreen, which not sunscreen, even when I'm not wearing makeup, sorry, like I do get very oily anyway in general. So I feel like this foundation, if I am to use it, it just does not work. But it sits beautifully on me during the winter times, and during the winter time and for a lot of the weddings I've had, I was actually surprisingly using this product and it lasted really well because I'm not as oily and my skin acts more like a normal skin except for like my T-zone. But yeah, otherwise, if I use this like in the summertime, my cheeks, my forehead, my nose, basically my entire face starts to look very dewy and very oily when I use this. So that's why I can't really use it, and then it starts to separate up no matter how much powder I use. So for that reason, I've been trying so hard to use this up, but it just hasn't happened. I think going forward, I'm going to try for the next month or so just to use that because I really don't think there's that much left. It doesn't feel like it, but I don't understand why it's not like going down on the side of the bottle. But my cousin has this foundation as well, and I noticed the same thing with her. But she uses a pump, and no matter how much she tries to get out, she can't get anything more out of the bottle, and it does not go down from the sides of these. So I feel like you do get a lot of wasted product with this particular foundation. But it just yeah, I need this to be gone. It's also so expensive now that I don't want to justify buying it just yet, and I'd have to see if I even want to consider buying it, considering the fact that I can only actually use it for about half the year, if not less than that. It just doesn't really like. Do you see what I mean? Like it's a dilemma, but it's fine. Next up, I have 3 body care products which I've literally used one time each. They've got 2 from First Aid Beauty, one's from Ritual. This is the Ritual Mohair and this is the Loving Body Cream. I don't actually like the formula of this because I feel like it's quite thick of a product, and I find it a bit hard to like sort of blend into my skin, and I don't like that. I want something that's a little bit more like of a thinner sort of formula, which then kind of like mixes into the skin really easy. Whereas with this one, I feel like I've really had to like keep, I don't know, doing this to my skin to have it like sink in, and I didn't really like that for that reason. It does smell nice, it is a nice scent, but I don't think I'll be repurchasing their body lotions. Like in this, I did have like the tub that I've used in the past, and that is beautiful. It's a really nice formula that will sink in really quickly. Just whatever it is, this one doesn't. So once this is done, it's done. But I do need to remember to use lotion a lot more, especially now that my skin has just started to feel a lot more dry as it is. I mean, obviously in the winter it was, but even now during like the more like warmer months, it's still a bit more on the dry side. So I do need to remember to use lotion as often as I can because it's not too hot here right now. So I definitely can actually use lotion up for a lot longer than some places. The next 2 products were both from First Aid Beauty, and they're both for KP. One's a smoothing body lotion with 10% AHA, and the other one is a Bump Eraser body scrub. This sits in the shower, this sits on my bedside table. Whenever I use this, I use this. So it kind of, I'm using these combined together. I do in one use, like I could feel it on my legs, and I've been using it on my full legs and my upper arms because that's where I do have KP. Hopefully, the more I use it, the more I can actually notice the KP going, because it is very frustrating to have. Honestly, I don't like it. It's just another thing to kind of feel a bit insecure about, but it is what it is. I do like the formula. I have used a lot of other stuff from First Aid Beauty, and I have loved every single thing so far. And this is the same thing. Like, I do really enjoy these products that I've used, but again, like, I need to kind of like have a routine with this, because the goal was to use at least once a week. So that way I'm getting some kind of use on, if not once a week, twice a week. And it's just been hard to sort of balance with everything, because half the time, by the time I get in the shower, it's like late at night and I can't be bothered. And the other half is just things are so chaotic. So I'm trying to like just be as quick as possible, which again is not ideal. But yeah, that being said, I'm glad I even got one use out of each of these. Hopefully I can get some more use out in these next month. Onto my like skincare products. I have a few that I have used. One of these is the Shani Darden Lactic Acid Exfoliating Serum. I've used this once. It's really hard to track on this. This is literally a 5 ml product, so this should not take me too long to go. And I think you're only supposed to use 1 to 2 pumps of this, so very little of the product each time. This will probably take me some time to use up, but I'm fine with that as long as, and when I start to use up a product, or I don't know, first get started on it, then I can see myself using it a little bit more often. It's just the part where it gets from me not using it at all is when I'm finding it really difficult to even think of whether I can use it up or not, because I have started the process now. Every like, I'm trying like maybe once a week to use this in my routine, or if not twice a week, so maybe, or like every other day. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to use it too often, because I feel like sometimes when I do use treatments or like exfoliating serums, especially too close over here on either side, it really starts to show, and it's a really unpleasant feeling. So yeah, I'm really cautious of that, but I do want to have this used up because it is getting old, and it is also a small product that hopefully it doesn't take me forever to use. I also managed to use a couple of these are basically wild carrot, like glowy type of serum drops. This is from Odysite or Odysite, however you say it. You're supposed to mix 2 or 3 drops of these into your cream, or use 2 or 3 drops on its own, and then put moisturizer on for like a more intense look. And it is kind of on the glowy side. I'm just using it as a replacement for my vitamin C serums, and I do feel like it works really, really well because it has brightened my skin. But the problem is, I'm not very consistent with my skincare, and that's what I'm struggling to actually use products up. I think if I was actually more consistent, I would use the hell out of this, but also love it so much more. Because I feel like whenever I did use this, the 2, 3 times when I did, it really did start to brighten up my skin and help me get rid of my acne pigmentation very quickly. So yeah, I would probably recommend this, and I would also look into seeing if I can buy this again in the future. But I do like this whenever I have used it. I just need to be more consistent with it, which is my issue with literally everything. I've made some good progress on this sunscreen, but I feel like this is a little bit too greasy and oily for me. So I'm not the biggest fan. I think if you have like very dry skin, or like dry to normal skin, you might really love this Peruta skincare. But if you have oily skin like mine, this is just gonna look kind of greasy on you. It doesn't feel greasy or like sticky, but you can really tell because it does make your face shiny. That's the only downside to this. Otherwise, I do really love the formula of this product. I have made some good use since I last rolled, and you can actually see that's gotten a lot thinner. And the product was about here, and it's now down to where this black line is. I'm going to continue using this up because I only like to use one sunscreen at a time. And hopefully by next update, I'll have even more progress. If not, I'll have used it all up because I've been consistent with using up my sunscreen. So yeah, it's not a bad product, but I just don't feel like it's the one for oily skin. Definitely, if you have dry skin, I think you will love this sunscreen. But yeah, oily skin is a big no-no with this. I also have this eye cream from Ren, but this is a brightening dark circle eye cream, and I think this has um some type of, this might have like some type of retinol or vitamin C or something in here, because it is labeled as brightening. I have made some use on this, as you can see here. I hate the fact that the label's like half coming off. I don't know how, but it is, and it's driving me nuts. But this is quite a dry formula. I feel like if I put serum on underneath, like, or like on my face, or toner, and it's obviously wet, if I try to then put this on top of it, or like just underneath my eyes, it does not blend in. I have to use this on my face either dry or before I even go in with like other skincare products, and then it'll stick fine on my under eyes. Otherwise, it starts to act up. But this is getting old. I also heard Ren is now closing shop, um, which is kind of sad to see and to hear because I feel like they had some really nice products. So it's a shame to see that. But they did have some solid products, and this is not too bad. I have yet to really see a very noticeable difference with my under eyes because I have really dark circles. But yeah, it'll just be nice to have this done, honestly. The last sort of actual like skincare type of product is this um cleansing oil, and I made progress. I've been trying to use this as often as I can, especially when I'm removing sunscreen at the end of the night or trying to at least do proper skincare at the end of the night. And I'm over here now. Before, this bottle was brand new, so it's like right at the top. It's a bit grimy, but yeah, I've made decent chunk of progress. I'm hoping to continue making more and more progress on this, and hopefully as each month goes on, I'll just be closer to being done with this. This is a very watery formula, and I've realized when it comes to cleansing oils, they do not work when it comes to removing makeup at all. So I've just now decided to use this whenever I'm having a no makeup day and I've worn sunscreen, because at least that way it can actually remove that. But when it comes to makeup, absolutely not. I need a proper good cleansing balm to do that. This does smell nice though. This smells a lot nicer than the Beauty of Jason oil that I was using. I don't know how to describe the scent of this, but I do much prefer this one. But it literally is like water. It's so like you have to be very careful when you're putting this on your hands because it has the thing of like running all over the place or getting all over the place. So I'll just keep that in mind if you are to buy this one and use it. Next up is hair products, and I'll talk about the ones I've just hit one use on, or like one or two uses. The least used product is this one from KMS. I literally used this I think 1 or 2 days ago, and this is the Hot Flex spray, which is like a heat activated shaping and hold type of thing. I've literally used this once. I feel like these products or products like these are very finicky, and they don't really necessarily do what it says. So I feel like it's a bit of a waste to kind of using these. I don't think this is like a proper full product when I got it, because it was part of like some kind of gift with purchase. And even though it says it's got 25 ml on it, I don't really know. But I feel like this is one of those products again that I've never really heard people talking about. Like, so I feel like they just chuck things like these in a goodie bag, um, and then give it out to people instead of like because no one's buying it. But yeah, I'm only using it because I have it in my collection because it was in a gift with purchase. Otherwise, I wouldn't really buy things like these because I feel like they're very gimmicky. Literally use it once, I feel like it literally did nothing for me. So yeah. And then the other two products I want to talk about quickly is these two from Innocence. I've used these I think twice now. I'm not the biggest fan of these because I feel like they don't have the same level of like suddiness that I actually want in a shampoo. The conditioner's not too bad actually, but the shampoo I'm not the biggest fan of. It says you're only supposed to use a little bit. I have a lot of hair, okay. I want to put my entire hair underneath a shampoo and make sure it cleanses from the roots to the ends. But I feel like if I'm to use this, it doesn't really help me do that. The conditioner is quite nice though. It doesn't really have any smell to it, but I do like that it's more a very gentle sort of cleanse. I always have to double cleanse though my hair. So I'll always go in with one shampoo first and then go in with these, or go in with another shampoo that I'm going to be using. But yeah, I don't really see myself ever repurchasing these, and I don't know why it took me so long to actually put these two in the bathroom. At least once they're there, I can try to use these up. And since I've had them in there, I've used them twice. So yeah, I'm gonna try to remember to use these tomorrow instead when I'm gonna shower my hair. But yeah, I am not gonna repurchase these. I just want to be done with them now. Another Olaplex product I'm using is the number 6 Bond Smoother, and I've literally been using this every time I've showered and putting it on the ends of my hair. And it's not like too bad. It's supposed to be a leave-in reparative styling cream, which reduces frizz, nourishes, and protects. It kind of does that. I can kind of feel it doing that, but I feel like I've had this for so long that it's not guaranteed that it's actually doing that, and there's a chance it's probably just expired. But I'm glad that I finally took it out and I'm actually making a lot of progress. Now, I do feel like by next update, this can be an empty, because from the intro to now, it's not been an exact month or close to a month. I kind of just like filmed that a couple of weeks ago and I'm start filming this. But by the time you guys will see this, it'll kind of be like a month. But the reason why there's not that much progress is because it hasn't really been that close to a month. Um, but yeah, I have like used this very consistently since rolling it in, and I feel like if I continue on this way, I can definitely have this on as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this also being an empty because I do wash my hair like every other day. So it's very easy for me to get use out of these. And because my hair is so long now, is like I'm not just gonna put it on a little bit of my hair, I'm gonna put it on as much of my ends, especially the part that's bleached, so that it kind of gives it that protection that I really want to be there. But yeah, I'm really glad to like to think that this will be an empty next month. I have a hair oil now. This is from Shumira, and this is a it's supposed to be a nourishing protective oil. I do feel like it is quite protecting on my hair, especially whenever I use it. It's probably been the best of the oils that I've used since using hair oils, but this I feel like I'm flying through this almost. Intro, I was about here and now I'm here, so there's definitely been usage on this product. It smells nice as well, and I just really like it. A lot of the times, I don't always use a hair oil after I've showered, but I use it the next day when my hair is just dried, because I then go ahead and braid my hair because I feel like that's the best way to keep my hair protected for longer and to keep it healthy, because I just don't have it in me to go get a haircut right now. So I'm trying to do whatever I can to just keep it as protected as possible, and it just prevents too much like damage, especially like split ends. So I'm really happy to use this. I'm going to continue using it up. I don't really know where I can buy this because I don't really remember which company I got this as a gift purchase from, but I've had this in my collection for a long time. So it's been a couple of years, I can't lie. But yeah, I do enjoy this and I am really enjoying this. I'm kind of annoyed that it took me so long to actually get around to using this. But that being said, I am actually really enjoying this so far. The last product I have for this update is this other hair oil, and this is the Nature's Bells Natural Rosemary Oil. I have made a good chunk of progress on this. I try to oil my hair as often as I can. As you can see, there is a decent amount of usage since then. I do need to keep, or at least be a little bit more mindful of how often I am hair oiling, because I don't think I do it enough, nearly never enough as I should. Um, but my scalp does love a good hair oil. I just need to remember to do it more often. I think once I use this up, there's another brand that I really want to try, especially for like the hair growth. So I think I'll definitely try to do that as well later on. This isn't bad. It does smell really nice and it is really good hair oil, and it also washes out very quickly. It is very like it's not watery, but it is more like slightly more runny than some oils. So I would just be a bit mindful of that. But I have really enjoyed this, and usually what I do is like I'll wet my whole head on my scalp. I'll like do a hair oil like this one. I only have this one, and then on my ends I'll use this other thing that I have as like a deep conditioning mask. I'll leave these on for like one between half an hour to 2 hours, pushing it three, and then I'll kind of get used out of this product through that way, and then I'll get to use up two things at the same time. That's worked really well for me. The only issue that I have is whenever I do hair oil, though, I lose a lot of hair, which is really, really jarring when you're already losing so much hair. That's like the last thing you want to see. That's the only kind of gripe I have with like hair oiling. But I do know that my scalp does feel a lot better after I have done a hair oil. But yeah, I don't, this will take me a couple of months to use up, and then I'll be moving over to a different product. But yeah, it's just nice to see that there has been progress made on this. That's everything now for my 50 Shades of Black project plan. I am trying to just like be a bit more cautious or mindful of the things I'm focusing in on at different times, only because I don't want to do too many things at once because I feel like I'll be a little bit too overwhelming. So I'd rather like pick a couple of things, use them up, toss them out, and then focus on something else instead. So far, it seems like it's working really well, and I think the reason why this project is also not stressing me out so much so far is because I have a good mix of hair care, skincare, body care, and makeup. Like it's enough of each of these things in my collection for me to feel like I can make progress on different things very easily. I'm so glad this is not a rolling project either, because this would be a very sort of like long thing for me. I'm glad though that I'm now down to 48 products. I would love to see where I end up next month. I do feel like I can have a few other empties, which I'm, as always, really excited to see as well. But again, I just need to learn to be a little bit more consistent. And I think that is still something that I'm struggling with. But hopefully, as I do more of these, I can kind of like work towards being more consistent and using things up like on a daily basis or having like routines in place. But that is literally everything for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll catch you next month for another update with this project plan. But see you next week. Bye.